Okay, so we are going to make this tiny little strawberry today. Pretty true to life in terms of its size. So it's a pretty quick little good project for using up your scraps and leftover yarn pieces. So what you're going to need is your three colours, your red, your yellow, your green. I'm using a 2.5mm hook, needle, scissors, and I've also got a piece of scrap yarn which I'm going to use as a stitch marker. I'm going to be stuffing it using this polyester filling. You don't need this by any means. If you've got just some more scrap yarn or even just surplus of the same colour, you can use that to stuff it. It's so tiny, no one's going to notice, and this stuff's pretty bad for the environment, so no need at all to use it. So we're going to start by making the body, and to do that we're going to need the red. And start by making a slip knot. We are then going to chain 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're then going to pop our hook into that very first chain that you made. You'll make this sort of U shape on your hook. Catch the yarn, pull it through everything on the hook, and that'll leave you with this teeny tiny little sort of donut shape, which you're going to want to use as your main hole to crochet into for the base. Okay, so pop your hook into the donut, catch the yarn, pull it through, single crochet by yarning over, pulling it through everything on the hook. Okay, that's one single crochet. We're going to need 6 of these, so 5 more into the donut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's our first row. So what we're going to use our stitch marker for, so we're just going to lie it over in between the stitches. So next to your hook and in between the first one that you did at the beginning, it's just going to lie across the top. Okay, and you're just going to continue your crochet over the top of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 into that next stitch. You can get your hook in. 1. And then we're going to do 2 into the next one. Then 1 into the next one. 2 into the next one. 1 into the next one. 2 into the next one. Okay, and then we're back round to the beginning again. So you can make sure your stitch marker is over the top of the stitch, like that, so we know where we begin and where we end. And you're just going to go into that next one, and we're going to do a row of single crochets, so just 1 in each the whole way round. Okay, and we've come back around, so take our stitch marker over the top there. So what we're going to do for this next couple of rows is we're going to single crochet 2, and then into the third stitch we'll do an increase. So single crochet 1, single crochet 2, and then into that third one do a single crochet, and then back into that same stitch again and do another single crochet. And then we repeat. 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. Okay, putting our stitch marker over the top, we're going to do the same again for the next row. So okay, we go over the top of our stitch marker, and for this next row we're just going to single crochet 1 the whole way round. There we go. And what you can start to see is what we're going to do eventually is we're going to turn it out like that. And you can start to see the shape of the strawberry kind of coming into play there. So what we're going to do for this next row, over the top of the stitch marker, into the next stitch, and we're going to single crochet 2, increase 1 again. So 1, 2, increase. Increase. Okay, so we're pretty much getting close to the end of our body there, I reckon. So I think I'm just going to do one more row of a single crochet the whole way around, maybe 2. I think 1 will do it. Okay. Okay, so what do we reckon? This body of our strawberry. Do one more row of single crochet maybe? No, I reckon that'll do it. Okay, so we can remove the stitch marker now. What we're going to start doing is we're going to stitch on the little yellow seeds that we've got here, okay? So we're going to need our yellow. What we're going to do is we're just going to cut a length of it, maybe about a foot long. We're going to tie a little knot at the end, and we're going to pop it into our needle. Hopefully you can see the kind of spacing we're looking for with the seeds. You don't need too many of them, just kind of fairly evenly throughout. Doesn't matter if they're not. Nature's not perfect, and neither are we. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to come up from behind. So you want your knot to be on the inside of your strawberry, okay? You don't want it on the outside because then people will be able to see it. Not good. You come over the top. Like that. There we go. And that is how we do a seed. So I'll show you again. We're going to come in from behind and just over the top. Like that. So we're just going to do that the whole way round until we've got our whole strawberry covered in seeds. So okay, so to finish that off, what we're going to do is you can see on the inside there's lots of yarn kind of going everywhere. Doesn't matter, no one's going to see it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tie it off pull it through. Just do it once more, just to make it super secure. And then you can either snip this off, or just push it back down into the strawberry. There we have it. And that is our strawberry body with the seeds. Okay, so what we're going to do now is work on closing up the body so we can make this sort of round bit at the top to put the leaves on. Going to put your hook back into our loop. We're going to take our stitch marker and just lay it across, same as before, so that we're crocheting over the top of it. What we're going to do is we're going to single crochet one, decrease one. Okay, so do that. We go one, and then we go into the next hole, pull the yarn through, and then into the hole after that, pull the yarn through, and you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Catch the yarn and pull it through all 3 loops like that, and that's how you do a decrease. So same again, single crochet one and do a decrease. Hook into the next hole, catch the yarn and pull it through, then hook into the next hole after that, catch the yarn, pull it through. You've got 3 loops on your hook, catch the yarn, pull it through. And we're going to do that the whole way around back to our stitch marker. Okay, so you can kind of see now that strawberry's starting to close up, becoming a bit more strawberry shaped, a bit more round. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to go over the top of that stitch marker. Do a single crochet and then our decrease. Okay, so that's our strawberry starting to close up. So what we can do now is remove our stitch marker, don't need that anymore, and we're going to stuff him. Okay, so just make sure you poke it all down, fill it up nicely. You won't need too much, it's such a small little item. A little bit more, I think. Okay, so that's our strawberry. What we're going to do now is we're going to do that decrease stitch all the way to the end. So you might need to push the stuffing down now, you don't want to catch that in your crochet. Decrease. 1, 2, 3, make sure that stuffing is all the way down. 4, 5th and final decrease. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to snip the tail on our yarn, put the tail through the loop, pull it tight, and then going to thread our needle and just pop it through the middle of your strawberry, and then just pull the needle out wherever it can, wherever it wants to come out from the bottom. Put it fairly tight, There you go. And that is our strawberry. What we're going to need to do now is the leaves that will sit on the top here. So okay, so to make the leaves, what we're going to need is our green. And we're going to once again start with a slip knot. And we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're then going to go back on ourselves, starting from the second chain from the hook. And we're going to do single crochet 3. Okay, so this next bit is going to feel horrible and it's going to feel like you're doing something wrong. It might take a bit of practice, but it'll work and it does make sense, I promise. You've just got to persevere with it. So what we're going to do is imagine this is the centre, well, it is the centre, and we're going to create like a ring around it, okay, so like a base for him. So to do that, we're going to single crochet into that bottom chain, okay? So just find a hole, pop your hook in and do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're then going to flip him round to the other side. So that's side A, and we're going to do a 180 and flip him round. Now, the bottom of this chain, can you see that there's a little loop just here? What you're going to want to do, pop your hook in it. Ooh. There we go, just like that. And we're going to do 3 more single crochets in that one loop. So there you go, 1, 2, 3. What we've kind of started to do is make a little base. Don't know if you can see that. So working back into that first single crochet that you made, we're going to now single crochet twice into that. For this next row we're going to do 12, so that'll be 2 in every stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now that we've got our base, what we can do is make the leaves. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into the next one, and then into the following stitch we're going to slip stitch again, but now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to ignore that first chain, but into the second we're going to do a single crochet. Then into the next stitch we're going to do a slip stitch, and then slip stitch again. This time we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, ignore the first, and into the second we're going to do a single crochet. Okay, we're going to repeat that the whole way around. So slip stitch again, chain 2, ignore the first, single crochet into the second, then we do a slip stitch again, chain 1, chain 2, ignore the first, single crochet into the second, slip stitch into the next one, and then into the following. 1, 2, single crochet, slip stitch, one, two, and we just do our final slip stitch. Okay, so what we can do here, that's the end of our leaves. Hopefully you can kind of got this shape going on. With a bit of practice, that's kind of what it should look like. Okay, so what we can do, take scissors, snip a tail. What you're going to need is about, maybe give yourself a fair bit of length, because we're going to use this to stitch our leaves onto our strawberry. Okay, so we can then bring the tail through the loop like that, and that is our leaves. Final step is to attach this to this. Okay, so we're going to need our needle. There we go. It should sit, fairly nicely on the top. It should be about, decent size. And basically what you're going to do is just go through the strawberry so that it sits on top like that. Okay, so that's all of our leaves attached to our strawberry. So now that's all that's left to do is tie it off. Just going to go in, make a knot, and then we're going to go same as before with the red. We're going to go through the strawberry, just come out wherever you can. Fairly tight. Give it a snip. And there you have your strawberry.